Guess it helps if I add myself to the stream. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another edition of Kuva and the Kang. But as you can see, there is no Kuva. And you might have seen a different intro today because I had a superstar replacement co-host who is the KAUFF. So appropriately, today's show was going to be KAUFF. The KAUFF and the Kang. I can't even speak today. But unfortunately, Benny's got tied up. He's had a little bit of vehicular issues, so he will be joining us shortly. But we do have two very special guests already lined up in the background, so we will bring them in right now. And I would like to just simply say that we have an American invasion going on today here up in the Great White North. Yes, folks, not one, but two Americans are about to come in. There's only one Canadian, which means we've officially been takeover. So please welcome me in joining Mr. Leo Coys from the Mile High Hotspur all the way in Denver, Colorado, and my man Jacob representing the United Spurs of America. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling USA. You said this is a USA takeover. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the red, white, and blue in my blood, so feeling great. Yeah. Despite yesterday, at some point, just you have to accept when a loved one has let you down, and you got to move on because guess what? The barbecue's next week. Actually, it's on Tuesday. You got a picnic on Tuesday, and then the barbecue on.
There you go, baby. There you go, man. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. And what do you think, Leo? Or have you recovered a little bit from yesterday? We'll be getting into the game, but how are you feeling today, my man?
Yeah, bro. I mean, life goes on. You know what I mean? That intro made me feel a lot better. That music was good.
Another
bro,
classic,
you know
my Ben. I just wish you were here to enjoy it, man.
I was in here getting warmed up, bro. You know what I mean? But everything's good. Everything's good, BobbyK. Thank you for inviting me on your show. And Jacob, it's nice to be on the stream with you, brother.
Likewise. Happy to be here.
You're two solid guys. You know how I feel about you both. You know, you're both in high standard with me. You're great boys. I love your energy. You always got positive energy and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
I'm just hoping we can reflect a little positivity in terms of what happened, because I know we got a pissed off and angry and sad fan base, but we'll get into the fact that we still got 30 games to go. So. Let's just quickly do a rundown here. Quickly say hello to everybody. Ed M was already here early. Have a good ones. Cheers, Ed. Hopefully we'll see you later on if you can make it back into the show. Eugen already here. Big up. Sir's your Asian man. Mr. Eugen over there always supporting like he always does. And we got these crew in here. These boys, not bad at all here. We got Mile High Hotspur, one representing right here beside me. And the other one, Parker, is somewhere drifting in the wind down in the Americas, probably enjoying himself today. Stuart is in the house as always, drifting Mr. Reliable. Big up, Stuart. Great to see you again, sir. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. And Catman, big up to you. Another Canadian in the house. Good. Help me level out the score here, buddy. We need some more Canadian blood in here. Mark Cousins, big up, Mark. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well, my man. And there you go, Catman shouting out you boys as well.
Big up, Catman, Jess.
And then there you go, Stuart and Catman bigging each other up the way we all do. The family is in the house. So, folks, that is the quick hellos and goodbyes for right now. Just friendly reminders to the folks in the chat and those of you viewing this evening for your pleasure to please remember to hit the like and subscribe button, or little K will find you and your dreams will be haunted for a very long time. Last thing you want to do is picture a little curly-haired monster running around at the base of your bed whilst you are trying to sleep peacefully, because I assure you it will not be a peaceful sleep. But other than that, we can get cracking, fellas. We'll get cracking, and let's just get right into this. So, had a lot of football this weekend. Football was back. It was some good games, some games that obviously we were not happy with the results, clearly. But we are going to do this the simple way. What we like to do is just a trademark infringement here of Bob Spurs, and he has allowed us to steal his thumbs up, thumbs down for this part of the show. So I simply will bring up the games, and you guys give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you want to bother wasting any friggin' time even talking about it. So I know how I feel about the first one, but you boys let me know how you feel. And that's how much everybody cares about that game. So as you can see, Brentford and Bournemouth had a fantastic, epic game of football to end in a 0-0 draw. And it was just absolutely electrifying. So thrilling, so dramatic to the point where Leo doesn't want to talk about it, and neither does Jacob. So, hey, well done to neither of you.
It's like an eclipse. You don't want to look it directly in the eye. You know what I mean? Because they say it's bad for your eyes, but...
Is that what it is? Yeah? So is that what you got to turn quickly?
Yeah, turn away from that. I don't even think that was broadcasted.
It might be. A blackout. What about this one, boys? Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Should we give this one just a few seconds here, or what do you want to do?
There's only one thing I got to say about this game. Well, two things.
Okay, then let's go. Go ahead, Jacob. What do you got to say about this game?
The first thing I'll say is down with Chelsea. I hate them very much.
100%.
But also, I do not like the manager of Crystal Palace. I respect him, but I don't like him. He's an ex-Arsenal player, so...
Yeah.
I was hoping this ended in a draw, but there was a moment in this game that was circulating Twitter I saw after our match, and Thiago Silva deliberately, while he's falling to ground, deliberately smacks the ball out of the way of the attacker on Crystal Palace's side. I believe it was number 9, I think. He deliberately, while going to ground, smacked it with his hand because this guy was about to have a breakaway, essentially. Mm-hmm. And it was reviewed, and that should have, in my opinion, that should have been a straight red, but it was not. And VAR reviewed it. It wasn't like they didn't see it or they missed it. They reviewed it, and they're like, no, it's. But I mean, if you watch the replay, I think any one of us here might say that was actually an intentional handball, and it's just unfortunate because I saw that at a time where I was pondering the ifs, ands, or buts about our red card in the derby match, but nonetheless, that kind of pissed me off. Anyway, that's the only thing I want to say. That kind of made me mad.
Okay. Fair enough. Leo, what I don't know. I didn't see the highlights. I didn't see the play that Jacob was referring to. Did you catch any wind of that? Did you see it?
Look, dude, if I'm completely honest with you, I had a few to drink at the pub watching our game, and it was the first game of the day, right? Yes. 5:30, and so when I got home, I was ready for a nap. So I took a nap, bro, and didn't wake up until 2 when all the games were over. Nice. So I feel a little guilty. I didn't really watch this game, nor would I watch the Chelsea replay. But I am curious to see how the Potter ball's going. If it looks like it's going to take a long time for Graham to get things rolling, or does it look like he's going to pick up where he left off at Brighton? I'm just curious to see, just because they are a direct rival to us.
Yes.
So in that manner, I am kind of interested to see how they played. Granted, I know Crystal Palace is a London derby, but I mean, not really one of the biggest. Not one that's that we always mark on the calendar and we can't wait to get to. But as far as the Chelsea one, I do want to see what they're looking like. They did pick up 3 points when we lost 3, so they did close the gap a little bit.
Yes.
So it just makes me wonder how they're playing. That's the only thing I would take away from the game. But other than that, Bobby, I didn't watch anything besides the Manchester City one, and we'll get to that one eventually.
Yeah, we'll get to that one shortly. Yeah, definitely, because that's pretty much, I'm in the same boat as you. Because it was so early here, we had a family commitment yesterday morning too. But we'll get into that as well, because it's part of the conversation for when we get to our game anyways. Yeah. But Jacob, I know in this one there was a 92nd minute winner from Conor Gallagher, the former Crystal Palace loanee. that came back and basically secured the points, all 3 points for Chelsea, and broke Crystal Palace's hearts at the very last moment. That being said, do you think that Palace were foolish not to exercise their buy clause there? Or I understand the deal was supposed to be around 30 million for him. Do you think that he would have been a 30 million pound player that would have made the impact on Crystal Palace to change potentially their season and where they could end up?
Absolutely. I think he was a big key to their success last season, and everyone knew that, including Chelsea fans. So they were curious to see whether they were going to bring Connor back. I'm not sure the technicalities of his contract, but to my understanding of it was, if he chooses to stay at Chelsea, he can do so. And his incentive there was, am I going to see the 18 at least? Because before he started his loan spell with them, he wasn't really making the 18. So then he got his loan with Crystal Palace. He shined kind of bright. Other teams took notice. And Crystal Palace, they wanted to keep him. I don't know that they dropped that big of cash. How much did they spend on Zaha whenever they... I think he... So it's like...
Zaha they got for cheap, did they? Did they get it from United, or was this...
Yeah.
I have no idea. But my point is...
We're going back years, man.
They've never dropped... I've never seen them drop the bag since I've been watching. And it would be strange that they would do it now, but he is a special character. I think that it was down to the player, and Conor Gallagher essentially is just, am I going to get some first-team minutes? Am I going to get any, playing time with the bigger club? I mean, who's going to choose Crystal Palace over Chelsea? I mean, regardless of how much the fans endear you, it's just like, bro, there's levels. And we've seen it. They've been playing him a lot more frequently this season, at least in the beginning.
I can appreciate the fact that you're saying that there is levels between the clubs itself, but for Gallagher himself, the level he's at, he needs to be increasing his level as a player. So wouldn't he have the potential to increase that level being at a team like Crystal Palace versus increasing his level at Chelsea? Because
absolutely,
I'm not going to sit here and I know you're not a fan of Vieira, but at the end of the day, he's not a poor manager.
No, and he it's not like he would lose any kind of experience with. I would make the argument though that he's getting that experience and then some with more eyeballs, more pressure, higher standards. I think that naturally makes you have to either step up or realize, okay, maybe I need to go back. And I think that's something they're going to figure out in either January or the summer. Is he at the level where you can trust him on a Premier League starting 11, or at least off the bench? He scored the game winner against the club that loved him. So, I mean, he's broken their heart twice in this calendar year. And at this point, I feel like it's kind of, there's really no going back. But Crystal Palace, if they had the mandatory option, or Conor Gallagher has no say, they pay this X amount of dollars and they get him, they should have done that because their team's suffering without him. Yeah. But I do agree. Vieira, for all intents and purposes, he's been a solid manager. He beat us. He put the master class on us last season. So, it's just hard to say one way where he's going to get the most experience. But I would tend to lean on the side of he's probably going to get the most experience at a larger club, right? Like Ryan Sessegnon went to Schalke, was it? He started. He did great. They loved him.
Hanover, wasn't it?
Hamburg.
That was Hanover. Hamburg?
I think the same club, Hanover.
I feel like it was Schalke.
I think it was Hamburg.
Schalke. I don't know. Hoffenheim, maybe? It was Hoffenheim.
That's it. Yeah.
Hoffenheim. I love Hoffenheim. He's such a good guy.
Now, all three of us just displayed our pretty much lack of German
Bundesliga knowledge.
Yeah. We will
Thanks,
almost
Jacob,
all had
making us all look bad.
There we go. But I follow where our team goes. So when Sessegnon went there, I kept eyes on him. He did great. They loved him. He got a couple injuries like he always does, and but he, for all intents and purposes, he was pretty decent. Now, I'd argue that did help him grow to where he's at now, but the level in which he's forced to grow now, it's like throwing a kid in a pool. You're going to throw him in the deep end or the end where they can stand up and it's a little easier on them. Well, it really depends on how sharp you're trying to make this tool. And if I'm Conor Gallagher, I want to be the sharpest motherfucker out, and that's just my feeling. So I would go to Chelsea. I'd go to Tottenham. I'd go to the biggest clubs. That's why these teams, or these players rather, they pick the larger clubs over the small clubs, even if they're just getting on the bench, because just riding the bench and coming off the bench, being around the top players in the league is, I think, something that they all aspire for.
100%.
I agree with everything he's saying. I agree with everything you're saying, Jacob. If I were Conor Gallagher, I would have probably tried to get my boots playing at Crystal Palace. And I'm not going to take too much time just talking about it, but I will say that 30 million nowadays is not that much money for Crystal Palace to spend. I'm with you. I haven't seen them really drop that type of money on anybody, but if anybody has been or is worth it, it would have been this young guy. Like he's a good baller, one that I wouldn't mind Tottenham spending 30 mil to get, Is he an attacking midfielder or is he playing more central, a little bit further back?
Well, when I saw him playing for Crystal Palace, it seemed like he was playing in that cam role kind of thing because he was really advanced when he played against us. But that's pretty much the only times I've ever seen him play. So I couldn't really comment.
I've seen him with Chelsea a couple times this season, and he's been kind of just that central mid role. Drops back when he needs to, gets up against forward when he needs to. He's not their key to their attack or anything of the sort that I've seen. I could be mistaken by someone who follows that team more heavy, but from what the little I've been exposed to of his Chelsea playing time, it's kind of just like that Bentancur role. It's just like he's forward. Bentancur. He's forward. He's back. He's just kind of that sturdy central mid, like solid 8. Not really the attacking mid, I don't think. But he did at Palace, and he's great at it. So it's like, why not give him a shot? But Chelsea don't really use him at that. So.
And we got Kuvs in the house. Big up, Kuva. Hope you're feeling better, my man. Missing you today. Definitely missing you, man. But hope you're feeling better. So what about this one here, boys? Fulham and Newcastle.
Yeah. Just a couple things I saw in it. Yeah.
Well, then you're the guest, man. You decide.
There's a red card in this match.
Talk about it? Yes.
So I feel like it's
something like that, right? It was very early.
8 minutes in, changed the entire match for the rest of the match. And the challenge, what I thought was interesting, he did catch this man by the boot and he rolled his ankle. So this is one of those examples. That's a clear-cut red. But that wasn't what Emerson did. And Emerson also didn't fall to the ground and smack the ball with his hand, which should be a clear red, which was not in the previous game we mentioned, that aforementioned match. But in this one, it really changed the dynamic of the team. I keep up with Newcastle mostly because I'm an Alan Saint-Maximin fan. But he is injured, so I was kind of like, man, I was flipping between this game and the Liverpool game at the time when they were going. So I was really curious to see it. Now, I'm also a Miguel Almiron. Miguel Almiron. He's a MLS. He played for Atlanta United, helped them win their first MLS Cup, and then he got bonked over there. He's a good young kid. The fans are kind of 50-50 about him, but he had a brace, and he's been scoring for them. And when he's healthy, he's pretty dangerous. There's also a cat that I watched. Shout out Shane from Australia, Shane B in Australia.
Great.
We were watching the Australia match versus it was the Kiwis versus what are they called? The Kiwis versus the Roos. The soccer Roos is what he called them. There's Almiron's very underrated.
Yep.
He's a 18, 19-year-old kid from Australia, left mid, left winger. Newcastle anyway, they're he's linked with them anyway. Is what I heard, and he was in attendance during this match, and the crowd was like he was in there with the supporters. So there's Newcastle's slowly and quietly doing some things now. Whether they keep the likes of Miguel, and whether they keep Callum Wilson, he's not healthy all the time, so they're also trying to get someone up there in that forward. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a big splash in January and really try and push for like a top 6, a Europe spot, maybe Conference League. I could definitely see that in Newcastle. They're a solid side.
Yeah.
Fulham also, they've made a ton of signings. Some signings that I was actually like, man, that's cheap. We should have done that for just numbers, like in Babu. They also signed Dan James when we were linked with him there at the deadline. And then they signed
the big one.
Willian, that dirty bastard. Didn't want him, but
but still, that's a good shout for Fulham to be able to get him still.
Yeah, and we this is one of our best performances when we played them. But by no means is this a team trying to lay down and accept relegation this season. And they've dropped some money into Nottingham Forest has dropped some money. There's been a couple of these teams drop money. Leeds dropped some money. They're going to be fighting. So I think they're a decent side. I would have called Newcastle United a decent side previously. I think they're a stronger than decent side at this moment. They're showing that because in a team that should be classed relatively, maybe they win this 2-1, 1-0, something like that. They're smashing them 4-1. You could argue the red was the reason why, but I do enjoy Newcastle from time to time, and it looks like they're building something strong over there.
I got Bob Spur in the house as well here. James is here. Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of impressive for Almiron to be able to be swinging above his. I hate to say swinging above his weight, but he is a player that has gotten some criticism in the past. I'm pretty sure you guys remember how Jack Grealish kind of chucked him under the bus and was like, you play shit like Almiron or something like that in their parade.
Oh yeah.
So it is good to see that this guy is still relevant, and holding his own, especially a product coming from the MLS, like Jacob has said, which you don't really see kind of transition and take to life in the Premier League that easy. I know a lot of fans, even Newcastle fans, that are 50-50 about him, but one thing about him is his heart, and you could see it when he plays because he definitely wants to be in that lineup, and he knows that he plays for a club that has a shit ton of money, and they can easily replace him or anybody else in that lineup for that matter.
Put together a good tape.
And
but it
that's
doesn't
exactly
seem
right,
like they're doing that. The credit where credit is due. Newcastle didn't just go out and splash the cash on anybody in anything like they could. The way when Man City originally got bought over, and they turned around and the first thing they did is splash out that Robinho money and start elevating the player valuations and made them skyrocket. Now everybody blames Chelsea for basically starting that whole trend, but I think Man City should have the finger pointed at them for basically adding steroids to the shot in a sense where they inflated it even further, right?
And fair play to Newcastle because, like you said, they are going about it. They are going about it a way where it's kind of almost respectable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It definitely is respectable. Yeah. It's not like a Man City, like you said, where they're just going to be buying up everybody. Because let's face it, they have the money to do it. Yep. There are financial fair play rules involved. They do have to abide by certain rules. But Newcastle, I mean, guys, I hope I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think Newcastle holds a somewhat of a special spot in everybody's heart just for what Newcastle, the type of team Newcastle is. I like Newcastle. I like St. James's Park. Like just the whole Toon Army, the way they follow their. I've heard Newcastle is one of the toughest places to go play at. It's an excellent venue. So definitely big up to Newcastle and a lot of respect to them.
So, Bobby, I wanted to touch on a point that you made earlier that we didn't see them immediately just drop this big amount of cash, but they're spending smart and safe. Yep. All right. They bought in Bruno Guimaraes, whatever his name is, the Brazilian guy. He's been great for them. Kieran Trippier. He scored.
Was Guimaraes and Trippier, they were both deals before the takeover, I'm pretty sure, though. No? Guimaraes was the first deal of the takeover?
Trippier was.
Trippier, and then Greenbass, and then another guy was after that. But then in this offseason, they bought Sven Botman. Okay. I mean, that's a guy I wanted us to go splash some money on. Yeah. They went and got him. Then they also got Dan Burn from Brighton. And then, like I said, Bruno Guimer, whatever his name is, Kieran Trippier. They've been getting some key acquisitions out of the
Nick Pope, didn't they?
Nick Pope.
Yeah, they have Nick Pope.
They're keeping their players too.
The big one.
They're keeping their players, ASM was rumored to be leaving somewhere, but they're keeping them. Like they see the potential that their club has. So,
fair enough.
Newcastle right now is a good place to be, I'd imagine.
Yeah, not too bad at all. They're on the up and up, that's for sure. But I think that's enough Newcastle talk for now, boys, because we still got this one to talk about too. And I know this one is going to get a thumbs up, just because, we get the opportunity. But of course, I have to follow protocol, gentlemen. So Liverpool, Brighton, are we discussing this? All right. Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, again, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game, but look, I'm just going to go out on a wing here.
Go on the result.
Yeah, for sure. So a 3-3. One thing I did hear was Trossard got a hat trick.
Yep.
That guy impresses me, bro. I've said this before. Yes, he did. I just want to say, for some reason before the season started, I just felt Liverpool was going to be dropping points, and look at they are. I think Liverpool has come to a point where maybe Klopp is starting to be burnt out a little bit. He does get his 7 years, and then something happens.
Yep.
But look, 3-3 against Brighton. That just goes to show Brighton is not just some pushover team. They are banging with the top six.
Regardless
They
who
tied.
manager.
Yeah, regardless of who's their manager. And speaking of managers, I'm kind of excited to see their new manager. I heard that he was handpicked, for the reason being that he can step into Graham Potter's team and kind of maybe even elevate that team more than what Graham Potter wasn't able to do. So again, smart business done by Brighton. They've lost a lot of their players, but to be able to tie 3-3 against Liverpool at Anfield, you're doing something right, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's not even it's not like you guys are feeling, the pressure of the whole coaching change, the pressure of losing your guys' players. Mape left, Basuma left, Potter left,
Cucurella,
Correa left.
Cucurella,
Dan
So
Burn.
they have teams that are fit. They have a squad that's being able to fit in, and you're picking, like I said, you're picking up a result at Anfield. I mean, you're playing ball. It kind of makes me wonder how we're going to be able to go up against them, you guys.
It's going to be interesting, because
It
we make teams look good. Let's face it, right now sometimes, and it's a bit painful. I just want to quickly bring up this from Stuart here. He's just saying that they're trying to become a struggling side around the top six. Man City, we're already around the top six. I honestly, the way that they're going, I'll be shocked to see them even finish in the top six at the rate they're at. Where do they sit currently in the table? Does anybody? Let me just check it.
You talking about Newcastle?
Liverpool's in ninth. Wow.
No, I think this was comment about Liverpool, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, Newcastle.
Oh, he's saying that yeah. Well, it could apply to either because Liverpool's going to struggle to stay a top six side, and
Newcastle's seventh right now.
So,
yeah.
Yep, they're doing well, man. They're doing. Lisa's in the house, of course. Good evening, Lisa. I hope you're well, my dear.
Big up, Lisa.
Yep, there you go. And the next one, then, gentlemen, I think. Sorry, Jacob, you didn't throw in your 2 cents there. Sorry, go ahead, throw your 2 cents in there, man.
So this was an interesting watch for the fact that at first I thought it was going to be boring, and then that changed in 4 minutes because Trossard put that man on his butt. And I'm speaking about Trent Alexander-Arnold here. This man has been on a crazy amount of decline. I mean, 2 years ago we would have said he's the best right back in the league, hands down, arguably top 3 in the world, acting like it at least. I guess now he's either been found out or he's just slacking like I don't know what it could be that's leading to his downfall. I'm not going to speculate, but this man, I've been seeing compilations all season about his lackadaisical defending, and it would drive me insane if he was in a Spurs shirt.
Not just quickly, Jacob, I want to say, first off, reload with a hilarious comment because I told you to throw your 2 cents in, and he said it's 3 cents with the inflation. It's a nice one. Good to see you.
4 cents. 4 cents.
Is it 4 cents?
That's pretty funny, dude.
Penny's flying around. Do you think that this is a ripple effect coming across the entire back line? Because everybody's sitting here saying that since Van Dijk's injury, he's just not been Van Dijk of old. He's already he's gone on a severe, massive decline. And do you think that, when you have a player of that star status go down on the decline, he's the kind of player that makes other players look good, but he's also, if he goes on the decline, he's going to expose your weaknesses now. So could that be a potential ripple effect of that going on too?
Well, there's that, without a doubt, you can't say that they're not all connected, right? When one player is playing especially bad, the players around him all are also, going to be struggling to do their job as well as pick up the slack. It's just natural. Now, where I find it interesting is, yes, he is 29, almost 30, but this man, that aside from the injury, there's no reason why Virgil should be considered on a decline. I think it's just at a moment when this team is struggling with their numbers, struggling with their fitness. He also is the captain of the Netherlands.
Yep.
So he's got a lot. He just played a lot. World Cup coming up. This has got to be a big pressure point for Liverpool at this moment because I think he hasn't stood out to me as bad as a plague to that back line as Trent Alexander-Arnold has been.
Okay.
I mean, they paired him with Matip yesterday, I think it was, and then Joe Gomez. That's a solid starter on our squad, Joe Gomez.
Oh yeah, I'd take Gomez. I think he's very underrated.
So they've still got depth. They've still got guys back there that can fulfill that role. I think their problem is Trent Alexander-Arnold used to be a heartbeat of that defense and offense. Now he's struggling on both ends. Their team's struggling. And I think Mane helped open that up because the same reason I always argue about Heung-Min Son and what makes Kulusevski better and what makes Emerson Royale look like a person who deserves to put cleats on. When you have a player on the opposite end of the pitch, literally diagonal from the position that you're playing, that is such a threat, teams are naturally not going to gravitate towards you. They're going to pull more to the opposite side of you. Whether they're playing laterally or vertically with you, they're going to be pulling to your left, therefore giving you more space on the right. It's just a natural way of things flowing in regards to the way teams will pressure superstars, world-class players in Sadio Mane. What you see is this now
overall
teams know
decline almost.
Right, because teams now can overload the side that Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming because they know that that's the side that he's going to be bringing it on, and they don't have to spend as much pressure worrying about Sadio Mane over there. So I think it's a whole team effect. I think if they could go back, they would sign Sadio Mane. They'd make him a very happy man.
I wonder because I wonder if they'd even turn around and say, hold on, we better be smart with this. You know, instead of dumping all that money on Darwin Nunez, I think they would have been smarter off going in and getting something in for their midfield. Because if you look at yesterday, I just brought up the game, the sheet from yesterday, and Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago started their midfield. You know, we got three aging midfielders that just don't have the legs that they used to have. So they're obviously going to make gaps, and these defenders are now being exposed in those gaps. Reload also has a comment here saying Van Dijk lost the aura right now. The midfield isn't helping him either, which is what I'm alluding to as well. Klopp often played Elliott and Carvalho. Big difference that Henderson a couple of years ago and Thiago. Yeah, you know, Henderson and Thiago were significantly better players and are now on the decline. There's, you know, unfortunately, regardless how great you are going to suffer some form of a decline with the aging process there. You know, very few players I think are ever going to live past that point and still shine in their later years. But it's looking pretty dodgy over there in Pool Town right now. But I think we've given them enough time. So what about this one here, boys? Fat Frank, you get no love from us, even though you won. So enjoy a fucking hot dog. I don't know what to tell you, Frankie. Sorry. Yeah, you get no
two of them at the same time.
Or two of them at the same time? Yeah, one for each of those big fucking gobs that he's got on there. Anyways, yeah. The gobbler. West Ham, Wolverhampton, boys. West Ham and Wolverhampton.
Jacob, I'll go midway for Jacob, and I'll let him decide.
I think okay. Jacob cast the deciding vote there because I think he wants to talk about oil, baby. And
Moisture madness,
and how he crossed the ball so effectively. Because even I saw a few glimpses of that. Actually, we'll touch on this quickly, Jacob, with your comments, and also please address the fact that they let go of their manager today.
They let go of their manager today, Bruno Lage.
Lage was fired this afternoon.
Wow, that's probably because he doesn't play Adama Traore enough because he keeps bringing him up off the bench. He was forced to play him early. There was an injury to Ruben Neves, I believe it was. So Adama Traore was playing. He was playing a kind of a central cam role, if you will. They were playing like a two high center mids, and he was playing on the right hand side of that. And he would break off to the side when they give him the ball. It's just where he likes to play. It's where my man likes to dance. And all game, this game was crying out for a Harry Kane, for a Richarlison to be on the end of those crosses because they were beautifully hung in the air, beautifully weighted, perfect placement. But they got, what's his name, Podence, who's literally 4'2". He's up there trying to jump with the big boys. It's not going to, I felt bad for the man. He doesn't have help. And that's why his numbers are so low. And you know me, I always back my man. So I'm not going to talk too much about the game other than my man was shining brighter than a sunbeam light smacking off them oily arms.
Now, what one more adding point that I want you to just address For 10 million, would he have been an absolute frigging steal for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially at this juncture. I mean, his defense is as good, if not better, than Emerson's, which is his is not good. His offense is definitely better than Emerson's.
Hey,
what's up, Antaj?
Yeah,
What's
supposedly he wasn't comfortable coming here to play right wing back, though. You know.
That's just what people say. And again,
media
that is true.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
There's so much bullshit.
Antonio Conte's kept his eyes on him since he was a manager at Chelsea. He's had his tabs on Adama Traore as his right wing back. He knows the physical specimen that's there. We just need to get it done.
There you go.
For 10 million, even I would agree that we should have.
We got Brian Hill for Lamella and almost 30-some mil.
Was it another 21 million or something like that on top of
when we could have gotten Adama for 20-something mil in that window, and now he's even less priced than that because Bruno Lage doesn't use him.
We basically paid to get rid of Lamella. That's fucked up.
Yeah. It was tough.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it was actually that brutal. But I think Reload's liking your references here.
Oh yeah.
They hung in the air, and there's lengthy runs, girthy crosses full of air.
And Antaj has got something here for you, my man Jacob.
That's right.
The one that got away. He will always be your first up, but just remember he got away. Let it be.
I didn't smack my mic for that.
Antaj, I appreciate the support. Thank you for coming and joining us this evening as well. Hope you are well. But I'd never want Jacob to let go of his first love, because when Jacob speaks about Traore, the passion that exudes from Jacob is the kind of passion I like to see in the world. So
I can't control it either. I can't.
Never let go of your first love.
No.
Friend. Never let him go. Reload saying that could have knocked out Brian Hill or Emerson. Adama replaces both. Yeah. How do you argue that? You can't. You can't. We spent 30 million on. So basically, there's 52 million and Lamella.
Yeah.
And it's because we could have saved 30 million and kept Lamella and got Traore.
That puts shit in perspective, Bobby.
And then go get yourself a youngster like Nico Williams. You want to get a youngster who's cheap, underrated. Nico Williams he's the brother of Inaki Williams. He plays for Atletico Bilbao, I think.
Okay.
Athletic Bilbao I like looking and finding these young talents, man, because I know that's how we like to do business. So it's kind of where my attention is. Like I said, that young kid from Australia.
That's not the way our manager does business.
No, hell no.
So that's not the way. We gotta get away from that. We've got to decide what we're going to do as a club. Either support our manager or support the clubs. So one initiative has to be thrown down, and that's the agenda that needs to be followed.
Oh, I can dream about the
Reload's on fire right now, though. I got to say, though,
the one that slipped away.
The one that slipped away is too oily.
Slipped right through my fingers, man. Right through my fingers.
All that power. There you go. Yes, you're right. Adama is my love too, man. But I got rejected. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, Antaj. Oh, there you go. Reload's agreeing. That's it. 200. I was ready. I know who you're talking about.
That's his brother. Yes. It's his little brother, Nico.
I didn't even know that was his brother. Okay, because I remember reading something about this. It was just recently, a few weeks ago, that he was almost in danger of missing a game, and then he was actually ended up being declared fit for it at the last minute. So. Yeah, there's definitely something to look at. Now, this is the big one from today. Oh, shoot. Did I get that wrong? Did it finish? I finished 6-2 or 6-3?
6-3.
It did finish 6-3. Okay, so I got the I put in the wrong score.
Martial had a penalty in the 91st minute. In stoppage time. Martial had.
That's right. So we will update that. And there we go. Now let's talk about this game instead. First off. All right, let's go with Jacob. You want to start this one off then, buddy? What were your thoughts on this game? 4-0 into the first half.
Yeah, it was something to see. I woke up kind of early. My son woke me up kind of early. This game was a little kind of early. But I got up and I was like, what game's on? I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot the Derby was this early. So I turned it on, and it's 3-0. And then they go up, I think it was 4 right before half. And I was just like, it was a beautiful cross, or not a cross, it was a beautiful through ball from Holland back towards Phil Foden. It just seemed like there were two kids just having a day.
Having fun, yeah.
Just having a day. Yeah.
I was watching that game this morning, lying on the sofa too.
They've been buddy since for a minute now. And it's just
I think there's more love there than there is between Jacob and Traore, if that's possible, Leo. I don't know, but
they get to touch each other, so there's that.
Nico Williams' freak started 230 league games in a row, and of course Bob Spur always adding valuable content to it. He likes his Williams, long-lasting and consistent. Very good, very good.
Consistency is the key.
Consistency is the key. That game was ridiculous. I know we get better, but Jesus Christ, yeah, United was just absolutely poor.
Yeah.
And another great question from, because he sure as the hell is not human. That we
he is a robot.
Yeah.
His dad made him in a lab in some European basement. There's no way.
He massaged his calves with that what was it that
baby
special oil that helps baby oil. Helps his muscles grow and everything, and the skin expand when you're young. There's a special thing that
like the
American footballing kids do, right, to help their skin expand so their muscles can expand too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember reading about it a long time ago. But
to me,
say something,
you threw me off because then I started thinking about what you were saying. To me, it's like, you know how Achilles, they say Zeus dipped him in a pot of like invincible goo or whatever, the oil, if you will. I think that's what happened here with Holland. I can't wait to figure out what the hell his Achilles is, because at this point it doesn't seem like there is one. But I hope there is one. I hope it's found out soon, because this man,
find out soon,
he's putting up video game numbers. He's putting up actual video game numbers. It's not real. It's people all argued, oh, he's going to take some time. He's going to flop.
I honestly did. I thought he would take him.
I said he would take. I said at least give him till January. I bet January is when after the World Cup, everyone's tired. He's been practicing. He's at home shooting, just angry little robot man, quite large robot man. And I think that he needs to get drug tested. Drug test him now. DNA test him. Do it all.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think, Leo?
I often kid around and say that the best way to play Man City is hopefully they don't plug in Holland the night before and he's running on a low battery. You know what I mean? Because that dude is definitely not human. So either that or they just don't give him the update. You know how every technology thing you got to constantly be updating or else you start running bad. They don't update him. We should be good. All kidding aside, you guys, Holland is a beast. He's a beast. I'm with you guys. I thought maybe he was going to take at least a quarter of the season to adapt. But it looks like Manchester City did their homework diligently when they bought this guy. Yeah, well, I took that Community Shield, and then that was it after that.
That was it. Everybody was on his back after that game, saying, he's going to be a bust, Darwin, he's a superstar, he's the one,
And isn't it crazy how the paper switched,
Crazy.
But
big up steak.
I enjoyed watching the highlights of this game because I too forgot that it was really early this morning, and so after I got done assembling my daughter's bike, I had some time before the stream, and then that I watched the replay, and wow, City looked like they're just gonna be steamrolling everybody. I think we dodged a bullet by that game being canceled, or else we'd be upset even more because we wouldn't have went into this Derby game undefeated. We would have had that L.
Well, I wonder, Leo, if it's going to come back to bite us, which way or the other. But I just want to quickly again, Bob and Reload are just on fire with the comments. They're having a comment battle of the ages. They're killing it. I like my women the way I like my Howlands. Love a little dribble and definitely love the shooting. Yep. And my man Tariq Talks is in the house. Big up, my brother, Arsenal man. Tariq Talks. He's an Arsenal fan, but believe it or not, and I'm going to say it, and I'm saying it live on my stream, in a Spurs stream. One of the classiest Arsenal fans I've ever had the privilege of knowing. Genuinely good guy, very humble in his victory yesterday. I went on his show a little bit just to talk. I was outnumbered 3-1 the way where scoreline was as well, and I was treated with utter respect, no contempt at all, no bantering, no ignorance, no rudeness. So Tariq, big up to you, my man. I'm so glad to see you. And Jacob, you're killing Entosh. Don't kill Entosh, okay?
I won't do it. I swear.
This is a little channel. We don't get many viewers as it is. Entosh is a loyal viewer. Please don't kill off the handful that I do have over here. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I wanted to touch on with this, and you already kind of addressed it, that do you think that there's almost a different vibe and a feel in Man City? Leo, I'll go with you first here, because they know that they have that focal point in Holland now. Is there that confidence, the way they're playing even, and like you said, the way they almost look like they were just having fun out there. It's like they didn't even, they weren't even, the way they were playing was up front, at least. It was like a training game drill kind of thing. You know, the touches and everything that was just absolutely brilliant. So,
yeah, they look scary, man. They look like a team that is on a mission. Like I said, I think they did their homework really good when they got Holland. He's not struggled at all to fit into their team. You have De Bruyne putting in balls in an area where like only Holland can dive. Only he can slide to be able to hit that ball in. And then, you see that goal the other day where he was literally like above the crossbar and nicked it in.
Yeah.
Like with some karate kick. The man is amazing. And especially if you
I'm waiting for him to score off one of his ass cheeks next.
It's coming.
I'm sure he has. Yeah, I'm sure he has. And yeah, we will see it. But guys, watch out for City. They're spoiled fans. I think I've seen a tweet somewhere today or somewhere in a chat where they were talking about how spoiled Manchester City fans were up 6-1 and the stadium was still quiet because they expected a lot more.
Yeah,
it's just like, God, you guys.
They panned the camera around, and I think it was around the 74th minute, if I'm correct. And you would not believe the amount of empty seats. And to me, I'm just sitting there thinking, if my team was winning 6-1, there's no way in hell I'm leaving this game, because I'm going to think it's going to get to 10-1 maybe, or just, you know what I mean? Or that insane, miraculous comeback could potentially happen, right? So, but they're so quiet. It's
they probably get upset because they weren't winning 10-1. Like they're accustomed to just being some. I mean, I'm not talking shit about a Man City fan, but they seem to be like they're spoiled brats, And if they're not going to get their way, they're going to bitch and moan and then just make a scene and leave. So maybe they did want to be up 10-1 on their bitter rivals and are not happy with the 6-3. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
make them really know. What the power in Manchester is, and Alexander is in fine form as well. The comment people are just lighting it up today, man. Good stuff, guys. It's the empty hat for a reason. Yes, we know that. City 0 goals at the lane, so massive loss for Holland and Man City coming up. I love it. I agree, Alex. Let's hope so, Steak Man. Let's get that shit done. Let's not let them get everything. I'm not talking about silk level. Oh, skill level. Okay, I think he was talking about comparison with something with Maguire and Van Dijk there. So I will let them carry on with that one. Their Man United fan will leave before halftime. Do you blame them? 4-0 at halftime. At halftime, and the performances that they put in, and the way that first half was, I honestly thought this could be, we might be looking at a 10-0 game.
Yeah.
And that was just absolutely crazy. And Dodge, you want to talk about the silk level or the skill levels, my friend? Whatever makes you happy, you're welcome to talk about on this show.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one rare time that we try to do football, and for some reason we've been talking about football for 48 minutes here, and we gotta speed things up here, guys. Okay, so we finished that game. We're done with that one. Leeds Villa. Okay, neither of you get either of our time. Gerard, you're still crap. You can't get your team to score. Leeds, we don't care. So hey,
America,
hey.
USA.
Hey. Wait a minute. Oh, Viva Canada. Right? Hey, JP's in the house. Big up, brother. Wait for the temper tantrum when Pep leaves and they don't win the EPL every year. Yeah, you know what? That's going to be interesting. That is going to be a massive transition when Pep walks out of there, because the amount of world-class managers that are left out there are very far and few between. So we don't bother. Leeds Villa, most boring game ever. Actually, somebody made a comment. I think it was Catman earlier was saying the Leeds Villa game was one of the most exciting 0-0 draws he saw, where it was a very rough game. So rough. Yeah, I was too busy watching Designated Survivor. So Brian Daigle, if you do end up watching this or watching this part of the show, I hate you. Brian Daigle introduced me to Designated Survivor, the TV show with Kiefer Sutherland. While he was here the week before last, and I am now on the 18th episode in season 2.
Oh, wow!
Approximately a week. So yeah, and I don't watch TV shows. I hate TV shows. So that is that, gentlemen. Yeah, I've been binging like crazy, man. Binging like crazy. But now, gentlemen, we are on to this one.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, this one is this. I agree. But it is vetoed by the fact that Spurs is in the name of the show. It does require
I
a
want to
moment's
veto.
attention. So, since we got 3 thumbs up, and it's my show, I don't have a co-host to make me behave today. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm just going to observe a moment's silence for our fallen Spurs from yesterday. Take a moment to say that it's 30 games to go. There's 8 games in. It was in their house. This is history repeating itself. We will come good. History will change. I don't want to get into who to blame, whatnot, anything of that. So I'm just going to respectfully take 30 seconds, boys. 30 second silence, yeah? Okay, that's enough. That was an Indian 30 seconds. Yeah, okay. So, guys, you screwed us over. I'm not happy. These guys are not happy. We're at the point where we don't even want to give you too much time regarding it because, well, we're just pissed off. So let's just quickly get caught up right here. And then it is game time, boys. 50 minutes in. We haven't had any fun yet. Let's have some fucking fun, man. Gotta play some games, man. There's some bullshit, man. We can't be just doing all this work stuff. And I have the fun book right here. Fun book is here, baby. I am ready. Watch the Vikings play at Tottenham. Oh, that's right. The NFL game was on.
And they won it via a kick. A kick in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium won them that game.
Right. Oh, and the Saints are Brian Daigle's team as well. Yeah. Oh, Leeds playing against him. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know anything about that game.
I didn't. Yeah, they were.
Emerson won't play. Yeah, hell yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah.
When it's going to get rid of Royal, the weakling of the Spurs 11. We'll be touching that JP shortly, but it is time. It is time for us to loosen up here. My guests are looking tense since I brought up that one banner there. It is a little bit tense, so it is time to change things.
Memories.
Gentlemen, it is time for a little game on this show that we like to call Quickfire. It is very simple. I will give you 2 choices. You give me your response. The quicker your response is, and the more I like your answer, the more points you get. Little K is the one that's come up with the point systems for this game, and to this date, no mathematician, scientist, or brainiac of the world has been able to figure out his point system, and I don't think he even knows this because I think it's all made up. But the points don't matter because everybody's a winner when you're here. So, gentlemen, I need to know, are you ready for a quick fire?
Yeah.
Let's do it, boys. All right, gentlemen, here we go. And I clicked on something I shouldn't be clicking on. There we go. Leo, you are first for quick fire. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let me get my supreme marking pen out. Bam! Give me your answer, Leo, as soon as it comes. Would you rather, for a superpower, fly or be invisible?
Be invisible.
Oh, you lost points with the time there. Squash or pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Tenerife or Dominican Republic?
Tenerife.
Carnage or Venom?
Venom.
Bar soap or gel soap?
Bar soap.
Good choice. Live in the past or live in the future?
Future.
Good call. Ancient Greece or ancient Rome?
Rome.
Cannavaro or Maldini?
Maldini.
Good. Somebody's watched my show. Kit Kat or Yorkie?
Kit Kat.
Peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
Crunchy.
Very good.
I would get stuck in the teeth better.
Then you have a little snack for later on, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Very good.
Make extra smooth peanut butter then.
Out of potential 50 points, you got a lot. Very good. Jacob, Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. Live on a farm or live in the wilderness?
Farm.
Laser eyes or telepathy?
Telepathy.
Sunny or Salah?
Sunny.
Trick question.
I was like, what?
Tiger or a lion?
Tiger.
Train or a bus?
Train.
You forget what I do for a living?
Yes. But that's the thing is I don't want to give any more work to you. If you worked at Starbucks, I wouldn't want to come order Starbucks and burden you with my shit. But this you got enough people burdening you.
Yeah, but this is when you come and hang out with me. I got everybody else is burdening me. You'd be my joy and pleasure.
If I knew you were driving, if I knew you were driving any automobile vessel, I would aboard that over anything. So
it's
Bobby,
you don't want you don't want me to fly a plane.
I'll board that plane.
There you go. We'll fly together. Sweet or spicy food?
Spicy.
Sharks or dolphins?
Dolphins.
Would you rather sing or dance?
Sing.
Halloween or Easter?
Halloween.
Salami or pepperoni?
Pepperoni.
Good answers. You did get a minus here for the bus thing, but out of a potential 50 points, you got a lot of points too.
Hell yeah.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Good job, boys. So now moving on. Oh, we never tell you who wins, by the way.
Oh, great.
That's secret top.
It's a method to the madness.
I will let you know. I will let you know the winner of today's quick fire is an American, and he has a YouTube channel in America that you need to go and like and sub to. And when I'm over there, I will maybe drop it in the comments who won. One way for you guys to find out. Go support my brothers here in their channel. Okay, let's go into the next talking points then, boys. We've got a few more things here left here, and then we still got to get to the big finale game for you here. So how much of the blame should be directed at Conte for the poor performance here? Either of you could jump in on this. I will give you, you know what? Let's do it this way for this one. I am going to give you, we'll get the timer out, and you are going to go 3 minutes exclusive to talk about this talking point and anything else you would like to address regarding that game. So, gentlemen, who would like to go first?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice? Oh, this guy it is. Okay, wherever the cursor ended up, it's closer to Leo. So, Leo, are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your 3 minutes starts now.
Look, I do believe a lot of this blame should be directed at Conte for poor tactics and management. As for poor performance, that goes on the players. The players needed to perform. Conte put out the game plan, and the team should have, I don't know if they have stuck to it or not, but look, they simply weren't good enough on the day. Arsenal did what they do on other teams, which is draw the teams wide and then hit the open space. They did that to us, so it makes me believe that either Conte didn't train these guys or Conte did train these guys and they performed bad. So to answer your question, the team performed bad. It wasn't Conte out there playing. Conte must have given them different scripts, different roles, different papers. But at the end of the day, the team is the one that did not perform. So that's why I'm going to answer that based on your question. The question was, is he to blame for the poor performance? Conte is not. I think the players are. Again, I think you can only do what you can do with the limited amount of players. I know we had Kulusevski out, but at the end of the day, I don't think that would have done anything. Emerson Royale did mess up by getting a red card, so we could throw blame there. I don't think that was Conte's fault. Conte is to blame, though, the way he lined us up and the way that he did his substitutions after the red card, or I guess way after the red card. He didn't even do it right away. He took off all the attacking players except for Kane, the slowest one out of all of them. So in tactics, Conte is to blame. Performance, again, the players. But look, guys, we got beat by a team on the day that was better than us. It pains me to say. And if we had to blame anybody, I'm not going to blame our manager. I'm going to blame our players.
Fair enough. You've got another 52 seconds left here. Anything you'd like to add outside of Conte or anything that you think that might have changed the game?
I think for some reason, I feel like we should go to a 3-5-2, or a 5-3-2. Or 3-5-2, you know what I mean? That game, we should have had 5. We should have had the 5 in the back instead of playing 3 with our midfield wing backs. But look, we just need an extra guy in the midfield. I knew when I seen the lineup that we were in for a long day. I'm sorry to say this on your channel, but Party shouldn't have been playing. I don't want to say why, but he just shouldn't be on the pitch any game.
Don't worry, buddy. This is not off the pitch. This is Kuva and the Kang. So you could say that.
Well, I don't like
in
sharing
jail
the
or
pitch
whatever.
with rapists. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I feel like he shouldn't be on the pitch at all.
Yep.
And when I seen he was on the pitch, it kind of I knew that we were going to struggle. One, because look, he's a good player, but two, he's got some problems that I think that eventually soon we're going to catch up to him. And so yeah. At the end of the day, like I said, guys, we got beat. The red card had a lot to do with it, in my honest opinion, but we got beat. And I mean, that's just the bottom line. We move on to the next game. But I would love to see, and I would welcome, and I would appreciate a change of formation.
There you go. And you saying that, actually, Alex Hilton, of course, Steakman threw in a nice formation here. We should have just gone 4-6-0. And if you look at the heat map, on average, they had 8 players in our half for most of the game, while we had 2 in their half. That's one thing that I saw that was absolutely maddening.
We knew that was going to happen, Bobby.
Yeah, it's maddening. And just quickly here, nice job, lads. Really cheered me up. Ellie, every time we see you, you cheer us up. So I hope your situation at home is better. I hope Theo's feeling better. Theo, if you see this, God bless you, mate. I hope you're feeling better, my man. And I know you got a lovely wife that's taking care of you. And Ellie, God bless you. You're a saint. Keep doing what you're doing and taking care of your family. We all love you, and we only want to see a smile on your face, because that's all you do for us, put a smile on all our faces. So
absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, Ellie, and always a pleasure to see you, and always great to see you in the chat here. Group therapy, Antosh is saying, yes, this is Misery Loves Company in full force in live stream. So Jacob, you are ready for your 3 minutes now, sir.
Yeah.
The timer will begin now.
When it comes to how much blame should be directed at Conte for the poor performance, I'm going to say at least 40, but not more than 50. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like the players themselves are to blame, quite frankly, because they were all poor. I know Harry Kane got the penalty, but didn't see him do much for us otherwise. And it seemed like we were on the back heel most of the game. So that's why I do place some heavy blame on Antonio Conte. Now, I'm also a person who's always said that I stick by Antonio. I support what he chooses in regards to formation, in regards to tactics, in regards to selection of the formation, etc. Now, I also have been recently feeling like I need to say something about the substitution problem. I felt like it was a problem early on in the season. We weren't seeing substitutes early, quick, the correct ones, in my opinion, or the ones that I feel like I wanted to see anyway. Now, that's not Conte's fault, because he, at the end of the day, he sees them every single day at training. He sees them when they eat food. He sees them way more than I do, and that's for damn sure. Now, where I struggle with not blaming him at all, and why I do place blame, is when I look at a player like Yves Bissouma. This is a guy, I have his kit. I'm a big supporter of him. I laid it out ready in the morning because I had to get up at 5 a.m. for this damn game. And I laid it out. I was going to wear it around all day and just never take it off because we just won. That's how I was feeling going to sleep. Now, when I look at the lack of attacking options off the bench when we lose a player like Kulusevski, who do we have? Brian Hill? Other than that, that's all I'm seeing. Jed Spence, I guess we played him at right mid. So Conte doesn't exactly have the most help. So that being said, I can't completely blame him for half of the problems we have, because half the battle is having enough troops, having the numbers, having the equipment, having what it takes to even go to war in the first place. So when you're struggling on that end, it's hard to put together a real strong front. Now, with that said, to only make substitutes in the 71st minute, pretty reactionary. I don't like reactionary substitutions, so I do blame some of that. Now, I also blame the fact that Emerson Royale has been starting. Now, whether it's because he does something in training that we are all unaware of, or it's simply Conte just giving the middle finger to management at this point, there's no reason we shouldn't be seeing Jed Spence. The little bit we've seen of him, he was better than anybody that we've seen thus far. Matt Doherty came in, looked atrocious, looked like a fucking dookie pie out there. I don't even got the words for this man. Think that's my time. I'm a land on 40% is to blame Conte.
Okay, well, we have the Queen is going to disagree with you severely here because she dropped the 0 in Conte's envelope here, saying that the manager does not accept any blame. Ellie, I'm actually shocked that you would say 0% of the blame goes to him. I can't believe I'm in a situation where I'm going to say for the first time ever, I think I might have to disagree a little bit with Ellie here because I love you to bits, Ellie, but I don't think that you can say that he is not at fault at all. He is responsible for preparing the team and getting them ready for these matches. And of course, the decision making made to us, to me, it was really frustrating as a fan to see that. Okay, after the red card, it's I wonder if Mourinho was the master almost at playing 10-man football. His teams would almost play better when they were a man down, and they would go out and get goals still. For us to set up shop and concede the game at that point and just basically say we're not going to do what City did today and let them score 5, 6, 7 goals against us. Now let's just shut down shop and hold where we are now. Let this game ride out the last 25 minutes, finish it unscathed, hopefully, and get to Tuesday's game now. That defeatist attitude bothered me personally. Mm-hmm. That really, really bothered me. So, and JP knows it. What Ellie says, go. You are right. What Ellie says goes. Thanks, Bobby. Theo's fast asleep, snoring away. Brilliant, brilliant. That's a good wife there. Nice big roast beef dinner as well. And Ellie, I love you to bits, but please, that we stream at 5:30 p.m. my time. We're an hour into the show, which means 6:30 p.m., which is dinner time. So please leave out any food references.
Ooh, I'm going to hungry too.
It's late. Yeah.
Unless you want to send some roast beef this way.
Yeah, that's it. Now, Jacob, we'll start with you on this one. Royals red and the impact it had on the game at that point. I'm going to start this one off because to me, as far as I'm concerned, this did not lose us the game, which a lot of people are saying. At that point, they were already ahead of us. We were being outplayed. We were being outrun. We were getting outpassed. We just couldn't even put passes together for some reason. Everything they were doing was better. This red, to me, ensured that we couldn't get back into the game because of what Conte went and did after that. Your thoughts on it, please.
No, to say it's the reason why we had that result is ridiculous because we were struggling with him on the pitch, quite frankly. Stupid challenge. Is it a red? In my opinion, no. But that's the same guy who let Cucurella get pulled down by his hair and he didn't call nothing. So it's like we could have lost 3 points there. But today we lost 3 points, but it wasn't solely because of a reason. But that would have been a reason we solely lost 3 points. I mean, other than the overall jack performance that we put up against Chelsea. But that wouldn't have led to the Harry Kane corner that we all remember so well. Now, Royale's impact on the game was negative. And then to go and get a red, it just continues the process of negativity that he was displaying out there. So I feel like the problem starts when you see him in the 11. That's where the problem begins. Now, what he does on the pitch after either just makes the scar just get infected or it just bleeds out a little. And lately we've just been bleeding out and we've been fine. But at some point, we all knew this was coming. We all knew Emerson Royale was going to do this to us. We all knew it. And we still just waited for it to happen. That's why I'm upset with Antonio Conte. At this point, I couldn't give a shit if it was Matt Doherty who played out there. Emerson Royale does not need... And I'm thankful he has a 3-match ban, that it was a straight red, not double yellow. Because now we at least get 3 Premier League games with that fucker off the bench. Not even on the bench, off the bench. Like, not even... Don't even come to the stadium. Game day, sit your ass at home. Do your stupid ass TikTok dance. I don't give a shit. Don't fucking bring it to my pitch for at least 3 games. It's mandatory. And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, not thankful for the result. Because of that, he's going to be forced to probably with the European games as well. I could see the fact that he's going to have to put Spence in. We're going to get. Hopefully, we get to see Spence now.
And this is what I'm hoping leads to him grabbing the bull by the horns and not letting that fucker go. This is Spence's moment. If he gets 20 minutes at the end of a game, if he gets a start, he has to come off firing. And the little bits we've seen, he's won fans over. So people want to see this guy. I want to see more of him.
Yeah,
Thankfully, I think this will at least
did.
lead to that, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we can hope for. Before we get to you and getting your thoughts on this, Leo, our friend Arrest is here and kind enough to let us know that Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Gentlemen, before you sigh and take a deep breath, let me add the silver lining. When I bring up a comment like this, there's justification. There is a method to my madness.
Okay.
Now, you sighed. Your faces have gone down a little bit. Let me change that frown and turn it upside down. Arrest is a Man United fan.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's good.
Now he's smiling. Now he's smiling. He had a Holland of a day. Holland of a day.
Holland of a day.
Holland of a day.
He had a Holland of a day. Leo, your thoughts, please.
Yeah.
Do you think that impacted the game? And what do you think might have happened if Emerson actually stayed on the pitch?
Well, look, Bobby, I can answer this like 1,000 different ways. I'll just tell you, look, it did, in my opinion, it did have an impact. Yes, we were down, but we were still that one play away, that one counterattack away from tying up the game, which could have happened, but it looked a lot unlikely when Emerson got the red card. I don't think it was a red card offense. I didn't even think about it being the same referee as the Cucurella incident, so that was a good point, Jacob. But, it's either – and it's like Bobspur alluded to, consistency. You got to be consistent. It is or it ain't. You know what I mean? Which one is it going to be? And so the fact that he called the red on that, everybody at the pub was just in shock. We couldn't believe that it was a red card. In my opinion, Martinelli did sell it a little bit good. You know what I mean?
Good.
Sharknelli's a bastard.
He made Neymar's acting skills look subpar.
So
Tom Hanks
that had a lot to do with it. He rolled around, and then once he got the red card, and they took him off the pitch, he was ready to go back in instantly. So obviously it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It's always going to happen, though. Something like that is always going to happen in this game. The ref's not going to want the game to get blown out of hand. He wants to keep control of it, especially a North London derby. And, unfortunately, I think the game was tainted by that red card. We did end up then conceding another goal. But I think that we probably – let's just face it, guys. If we get a corner kick, we're dangerous. If we get a free kick, we're – not one that Harry Kane's taken, but if we get a free kick off to the edge, you know what I mean, where we can then send a good cross in. We had a good chance, not to regress, but we had an excellent chance when Sonny threw that cross in, and Richarlison kind of waffled it and didn't put it in the back of the sack on the 12th minute. He was onside. That would have been a goal had he bagged that opportunity. Mm-hmm. We had missed chances. We had a couple of missed chances. But. Your question, the impact of the game, of course, the red card impact the game, and look, Jacob alluded to it. It's going to impact the rest of the games coming up. 3 games coming up. I think Royale kind of just fucked himself. Honestly, he really did, because Jet Spence is. I was watching something about him. He's cut for big games. He's cut to show people exactly what it is that he's made of. And this is the chance. That you do grab by the horns, and you don't let that motherfucker go. You know what I mean? You take your chance, and you make it for what it's worth. And I couldn't be more excited. I mean, I hate to say this. We went down a man, but only good can come out of that, dude. Only good can come out of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Now come Champions League, come Brighton away. I know that he's not going to be not even on the bench.
Frankfurt, right? He can play for Frankfurt, though.
He can play for Frankfurt, and I almost guarantee you he's going to. Yeah. But I mean, Premier League, for me, Premier League is my competition. I want to do the best in the Premier League. So the fact that we have 3 games without Emerson Royale, I'm just wondering what the hell Conte is going to do. Because he's gonna have to make some changes now. There's a term we say in Spanish, a huevo. Like, now he needs to he's got no choice, bro. But he's got to fucking make a change now. And so, yeah, I think that only good's gonna come for it. I'm kind of glad it happened. Let's be real. We were down 1 goal when he went off. It was a shitty game, but I look forward. I mean, I'm past it. Don't get me wrong. I'm past it. And I'm eager to see. If not Spence, then who? I'm gonna support Lucas Moura if he's there. I'm gonna support Perisic if he's there.
Yeah, he looked dreadful.
He did too. I'll support
Romero looked dreadful. That was
Doughboy if he's there. So whoever it is that he decides to field, man, I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna get behind him and support him. It couldn't be much more worse than Emerson.
Yeah.
Okay.
A huevo.
Sí, Lisa knows what I'm talking about. ¿Qué onda, Lisa? Espero que todo está bien.
What he said. Gentlemen, we're going to bring up the last talking point for today before we go into the final game in the wrap-up of the show here. So let's quickly just touch on how absolutely freaking maddening this is. But before we do that, like they say, it's better to be late than never get there. So thank you for joining me. Welcome. The KAUFF has showed up for the KAUFF and the Kang.
Yep.
So I know I've told you I'm Indian, but I'm the one that's supposed to be on Indian time, my man, not you. How are you? Everything okay?
This is what happens when you go for a curry. You suddenly become late all the time, and then every traffic light is red, and every road has got roadworks on it. But how is everyone doing? Hopefully everyone is well.
We're doing well, buddy. Can't complain. Yeah,
Wonderful intro.
Yeah, that was great.
Everybody got a kick out of the intro today.
It was a mood setter. Intro.
And you know what? Now that he's here, and the KAUFF is finally here, gotta have the intro. Yes, love it. Good energy in that one. Ben, man, I really like the way that you had me dribbling the ball there at the end in the park and then added that to the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're great with the ball in it, Bobby. I mean, it's got to be in there, doesn't it?
Got to be in there. So, my friend, unfortunately, you have missed about 87% of the show. Where would you like to add your 2 cents into? We discussed all the 3 cents. Sorry, yes, inflation. We discussed all the games of the weekend there. We touched on the fact that Spurs obviously lost yesterday. We asked, is Conte at fault for that? And we also asked if Royals red impacted our inability to get back into the game and how much of a factor that had. So why don't you, is there any game from the weekend that you would like to just quickly touch on or any of them? There was today's
game was worse than our one. So
yeah, and then the nice big Holland, the Holland Super Show here, which was what we were going to be getting into next anyway. So why don't you start here then, Benny? Why don't you, because you didn't touch on this already. We talked about him already when we were talking about the game a little bit. So how absolutely ridiculous is this? 8 games, 17 goal contributions.
The man is a freak. He is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful player inside that box. And he is going to be one of the greatest players to ever play football, just of how good he is. His strike rate is a joke. And it was good in a pretty average, but pretty good Dortmund team. And now you've given him De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Rodriguez, Gundogan. You've given him a lot of people like to say a bad workman blames his tools. This is a good workman with the greatest of tools, the greatest of managers to be giving him the ball.
Yeah.
The man he's going to score 50 goals this year.
I think this guy's going to shatter the goal scoring record if he stays in the league for 7 years.
He is going to go into, if Man City don't give this man a 10-year contract already, he's just that good. How old is he? 23?
22?
22,
I don't even think that old.
Yeah, I think
21, 22.
I think he's 21, I believe. I'm
gonna look it up.
21, 22, man.
I don't want to be going on this Holland bandwagon already. But
he's 22.
He could be up there with Messi and Ronaldo. 22. That's how good he is. It's ridiculous how good he is. And this is not playing against like farmers teams. This is playing against Premier League opposition.
Yeah.
And he's taking them all to the cleaners. Imagine what happens when he's going to play Eric Dyer. Sorry, Jay. When he plays Tottenham, he's going to score 5 against us. He's on another level. He is on another level. If he can add passing to his game, which he doesn't need to, he's the fox in the box striker.
He had a great assist today.
Yeah, great assist today for Foden. He could be one of the greatest players of all time.
Well, there is this, now that you touched on that, I recall this comment earlier from Mr. Hilton. He thinks that we're going to shut them down the way we did last season. So
I don't know what he's been putting in his steak, but
I like it. Send it over here. I like it. And Taj likes your intro. Good job, Benny.
This is the year where the City curse comes to an end. This is when the man is a joke. We can't handle them.
Yeah, it's almost maddening. And the fact that Romero now seems to be off form does not help and add to the situation here. So
I think he's injured. He took a bad injury before the Sporting game. He rushed himself back, and he still looks injured.
He still looks a little bit behind. Okay.
This is why the ownership of the football club have to provide a squad for the manager. Because if Romero doesn't play, we're left with Davinson Sanchez. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. See, lovely Ellie. Hopefully, Mr. Ellie is doing better because Mr. Ellie was doing.
She already addressed that. She was saying that Theo is fast asleep and snoring away after his lovely roast beef dinner that Ellie prepared for him. So she has taken care of her man and sent him off to La La Land to snooze away and dream about her. There you go. So
clearly, Jed Spence, I'd love to see Jed Spence play because there's nothing else. Emerson is one of the worst footballers I've ever seen ever. Well, he's Timothée Tuba level. I don't know if you boys were down.
I remember a Tuba,
yeah.
I remember a Tuba. He had a good name. Let's put it.
Doherty is not fit. He should not be in the squad. He will not be fit till December. That's how bad his injury was. He had a bad ligament injury. He shouldn't be back in the squad until December. We've rushed him back. Clearly, Jed Spence is not ready to play Premier League football. So instead of buying someone that's not ready, we should have bought someone that's already ready. And as I was saying many times in the transfer window, there were many players available. From Italy, Singo, Maley, the other guy from Atlanta. There was Dumfries. There were so many right backs that were not stupid money available. Because I think a lot of the narrative is we have to spend big bucks, like 70 million for a right back. We don't. You can spend 25 million and get a really awesome right back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just doing the right scouting and looking out for it. And Ellie is agreeing with your comments here that Emerson's red card might be pretty much a blessing. So, we get to see the likes of Jed Spence hopefully now because his hand's going to be forced. Just sheer numbers, right? Sheer numbers. But Benny, I know Jacob unfortunately is a little bit of a time constraint here, and I did tell him that we would wrap up in the hour and a half, and I've got to get the last game in here because. I will get him. Jacob, will you be able to stretch a few minutes and do the last game with us?
Yes, I'm.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
working on it. I'm just sending the message.
Just sending the message. We're going to start it right now. We should. Yeah. Let's get to it right now and hopefully get it finished up. Okay, gentlemen, this is very simple. This game is called Spot the Bull. Ben, this is actually Kuva's creation. So Ben, you can actually play along now, which is good. Yeah. So it's good that he still came in at the end, and I don't have to leave you out. It's very simple, folks. In 3 categories, I will be giving you 3 stories in each category. So that's 9 stories altogether. In the first category, the 3 stories I give you, 1 will be real, 1 will be coming out of this mind, and the other one came from the mind of the great Kuva himself. You have to determine which story is real, which one is the Kang, and which one is the Kuv. 1 point is awarded for every correct answer. So, gentlemen, I have to ask, are you ready for Spot the Bull?
Sir.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
And there we go, gentlemen. The first story is titled, Not Your Average Fish. Recent revelations from fossil records show that somewhere between 40 and 55 million years ago, a saber-toothed anchovy existed and swam in the ocean. They had a mouth full of spiky teeth on the bottom, with a one fang protruded coming out of the upper jaw. They used to be over 1 meter long. These are definitely not the anchovies that you would find on your local pizza. Story number 2 is 6 legs. Oh, what the hell am I doing? I put all this stuff in here for a reason and then don't use it. Stupidity. Not Your Average Fish is number 1. Story number 2, 6 legs better than 4. In April 2004, a couple backpacking across India ended up in the remote village of Banruka and made a very interesting discovery. They noticed that all the cats in the village actually had 6 legs. All of the cats were bred off the line of a single cat from over 150 years ago. The villagers believed the original cat was holy and continued to breed the line for the following generations. Story number 3, Flipping the Big Bird. Residents in Rhode Island, USA, down there for us, this is for you American boys here, often believe that they are the rudest state in the country. Science has now given evidence to support that claim. Rhode Islanders are so used to flipping the bird. For those of us that don't know, or those of you that don't know, that flipping the bird is the reference to giving the finger. That over the course of the last 120 years, they have developed the longest average length of middle fingers in the USA. So from this consistent motion off of their hands, their fingers have actually grown. Although the extra 3.2 millimeters is barely noticeable, student geneticists at Columbia University have identified the phenomena as an indication of social culture affecting evolution, albeit in an unusual way. So, what happened to Jacob there?
I think we've lost him.
Uh-oh. Well, I will start with you then. So we did lose him. That's not good. So Not Your Average Fish. Leo, is Not Your Average Fish the revelations regarding the fossil for 455 million years? Welcome back, Jacob. Is that story true? Is that story made up by me or made up by Kuva?
Hello.
I'm going with that story's made up by Kuva.
You're saying Kuva for that one? Okay. And Jacob, with the one regarding the fish, the fossil records, and the old anchovies that were a meter long.
Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you fine, yeah?
Okay. Sorry, the video was like super frozen, and I could just hear you guys, but I couldn't see anything. So
no,
I missed the last part of the third one. Can I hear the third one?
I'll read the third one to you when we get to that one. But for this the fish one, do you think that's true or mine or Kuva's?
I'm gonna say it's Kuva.
You say that's Kuva as well, okay? Yeah. And the second story is the one with the 6 legs better than 4. The couple that found the remote village with the cats that had the 6 legs. Sorry, Benny, you didn't give me yours.
Okay, so
the first one.
Not Your Average Fish is real. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, just that one. Yeah. And now the second one. I'll ask Leo again on that one. 6 legs better than 4. Is that real? Is that mine? Or is that Coob's?
I think that's real.
You think this one's real? Okay. Jacob?
That's you, my friend. I'm saying you made that up.
You saying I made that up? Okay, Ben?
Yeah, I think that's another one made up by you, Bobby.
Just because India's in there, eh? You guys are so racist.
Actually, can I switch? Can I switch you? I feel like Kuva would make up the cat with 6 legs, and you would make up the crazy anchovy thing.
Crazy anchovy thing, okay. And flipping the big bird, I will read this to you again one more time quickly, Jacob. Residents in Rhode Island often believe that they are the rudest state in the country. Science has now given evidence to support the claim. Rhode Islanders are so used to flipping the bird that over the course of the last 120 years, they have developed the longest average length of the middle finger in the USA. Although the 3.2 millimeters is barely noticeable, student geneticists at Columbia University have identified the phenomena as an indication of social culture affecting evolution, albeit in an unusual way.
Oh. So it sounds oddly specific to be true. So that sounds like it's got to be true because honestly,
that one's true. Okay.
The Northeast is a pretty rude place. You got to be thick-skinned over there.
Yeah.
So I could see that being definitely true.
So you say that one's true? Okay, yeah. Leo?
Yeah, well, I already used my true, so now I'm stuck with picking. This one was you.
You think this one was me? Okay, and Ben?
I think this is Kuva, because Kuva likes to give people the little bird.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen, Jacob, I must say you shouldn't have changed your answer. Not Your Average Fish is, in fact, a real story. Scientists have determined they found fossils of anchovies that were over 1 meter long that had saber-tooth-like teeth. 6 legs better than 4 is bullshit, clearly made up by me. So, yes, Benny got that one right. So, Benny got 3 points in this one, while you guys, unfortunately, hit a big zero.
Just left Benny, on my internet fucked up.
Yeah. And, of course, flipping the bird is a concoction of the great mind of the Kuva himself. On to round 2. Round 2 is coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have it. So this is done. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. And because I have too much stuff in front of me and I'm trying to be fast. Complain. After doing a complaints review and an audit, the Marriott chain of hotels made a costly discovery. In the audit, they realized that they had comped one customer 881 times. James Dunfield was a former Marriott employee familiar with their operations. He would book the hotel suites, which were approximately $1,200 US per night, and then proceed to complain and threaten to sue for negligent service. The hotel would simply refund his evening to avoid any embarrassment or hassle. The audit showed that this cost the Marriott a total of $1,057,200 over the 4 years that James ran his scam. Since then, the Marriott has changed their policies. Story number 2. Pet TV. In a desperate attempt by Swedish TV SVT to rekindle viewing figures in the 90s, they saw an unusual strategy employed, which shows targeting a novelty audience: household pets. Execs were convinced by researchers that during the winter months, when the pets were largely kept indoors, they would stare at the television. While it was ridiculed at first, viewers soon celebrated the launch of the cat and dog channels. A comedic news channel was added and presented by Mansi, a 9-year-old Norwegian forest cat. In January 1992, Cat's TV News actually had higher ratings than the official news channel. Eventually, the fad wore off and the channel was shut down in 1994. Story number 3. The most boring TV show ever. In Fukuoka, Japan, there is a hotel for a person on a low budget. For only 100 yen, which is approximately 80 pence or $1 US, you can stay a night. The catch? Visitors must agree to let the hotel live stream their story must agree to let the hotel live stream their stay on their YouTube channel. So far, over 500,000 people have tuned into the channel to watch strangers sip tea, read, and watch TV. Don't worry, there's no camera in the showers. So let's start with Jacob on this one. Jacob, complain. The complaints review and audit. Is that true? Is that me? Is that Kuva?
It's you.
That's me? Okay.
Yeah.
Pet TV?
That's real. That's got to be real. I could see some weird. That's definitely true.
You think Pet TV's true?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
sure. And then that means you're saying the last one is then
Kuva.
The last one is Kuva then. Okay. So, all right. And Leo, complain. The hotel story.
I think that's true.
You think that's true? Okay. Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you, homie.
Thank you. And Pet TV, the Swedish television network that concentrated on household television pets for their viewing.
I think that's Kuva.
You think that one's Kuva?
And the next,
and then the last one obviously is the real
Kang.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the Kang.
No.
Yeah, you said Kang. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay, you said real. Okay, so that's that. Benny, complain.
I think that's so real that it's not true. So I think that's actually you. It sounds too something that would happen to be real. So I'm going to say that one's you.
Pet TV.
Did you say SBTV or SVTV?
STV. STV, Swedish TV.
I think that's Kuva.
And then that means the last one you are saying is real. The Japan one is real. Yeah. Well, we all know that Benny's got the inside track here, folks. So clearly Benny is cheating because he went 3 for 3 yet again. But don't worry, as the co-host, he will not be getting any points. But Jacob, complain. You got right. That was my story. I made that up. I'm sure there's some sort of something close to it out there, but this was all completely bullshit. Pet TV is the concoction out of the great mind of my usual co-host, Mr. Kuva himself.
Damn.
And of course, I thought the throwaway in that one would be the mention of the Norwegian forest cat. So Leo, you got that?
For me was you said SVTV, and I know there's a TV station in the UK called SBTV, and there's not going to be an SVTV because that's too similar to SBTV.
But it's a letter.
It's still there enough. You still want to.
So Leo, you got that point there. So you got a point there. Jacob's got 1 point here. Leo got a point here as well with the Pet TV one. And of course, the most boring TV show in Japan is actually Real Story. There is a hotel there that you can go and pay absolutely pennies to stay in as long as you are willing to let them do whatever they want with your streams. We've fallen behind here, and this was in the first one. Stuart, real BobbyK. Stuart, 3 points for Stuart in the first one here. Yes. De Bruyne is on to make City tick. Yeah, Ellie, you're right, but I think we're done with the football point of this, the point of the show. So we'll just be Jay, hello, thanks for joining us, Jay. A little bit late for the football end of it, but appreciate you coming in, my man. And Dermot, hey Dermot, hopefully you're here. Good to see you again. And Stuart with number 2, he went Bobby, Real, and Kuva. So you got 1 point there, Stuart. You mixed up the last 2 though. But good shout there. Conte needs to swallow the pride. Yeah, unfortunately, Jay, you're right. We got a few things on that. But if you're welcome to join us a little bit earlier next week, Jay, we do the football stuff at the beginning. We like to wrap up with a little laugh here. But great game.
He might be behind. He might be watching it on his time, but he might not be
right. Oh, SVT exists. Oh, so it was SVT. I wrote it down wrong.
That's what gave Ben the points.
Dodgy. All right, on to category 3, the final round, and let's get through this because Jacob's missus is saying, "Hey, somebody's got to take care of this baby too now."
Yeah, I'm about to get murdered.
You said 10 minutes, and we're already 10 minutes. So no elephants in the room. Story number 1: in 1966, during a huge, highly theatrical magic show in Mumbai, India, a large-scale illusion act was the showpiece, where a woman riding an elephant would vanish from the stage in front of a live audience. The magician's assistant, Sanvi, merely had to sit on top of a giant elephant named Raja. The curtain would rise, the stage's trapdoor would open, lowering them to a holding area, and the stage put back in place. However, and then they would reappear. However, upon performing the reappearing trip, nothing appeared upon the platform when the trapdoor opened. Puzzled staff looked and searched for Raja and Sanvi and found no trace of them. To this day, it remains to be arguably the greatest disappearance ever, as nobody has ever come forward with an explanation to where the elephant and the woman disappeared to. Second story, going nuts. In Pittsburgh, Chris and Holly Persick seem to have upset the local squirrel population. Chris's vehicle broke down last October, and an hour later he got a phone call from his wife to say that there was a burning smell coming from her engine. She popped the hood and she found it full of walnuts. 200, in fact, when the count was done. Local squirrels had used the car to store nuts for the winter, and after investigation, it was discovered that Chris's vehicle had broke down because squirrels had chewed through some wires. And the last one in this one is dog with a bone. Mike and Shelley noticed Brutus, their family dog, had been coming home with a few more bones than usual lately. Normally, the old couple let Brutus bury his bones anywhere on their 150-acre farm. One day, Mike noticed that Brutus had dug up approximately 10 holes in one day, way above his normal average 1 or 2. Curious as to where Brutus got all the bones, Mike decided to follow him the following day and realized Brutus had stumbled upon a pet cemetery and was digging up the bones from the graves. So Brutus is one nasty little shit of a dog. And this is why people will say cats are better, and I know why Kuva likes cats. So, gentlemen, no elephants in the room. Jacob, is that mine? Is that Kuva's? Is that real? That's a lady disappearing after the magic show and has not reappeared for almost 50 years.
I'm going to say Kuva.
You're gonna say that one's Kuva, okay? And then going nuts, the story with the lady and the squirrels basically destroying them.
Real. Yeah, that's real. And then the next one's you.
This one's real, okay. And you're saying the next one is with the bone, okay. So then, Leo, the elephant one.
Yeah, I don't mean to be boring. I got the same as Jacob.
All three? First you're saying the exact same?
Yeah, first one is KAUFF, second one is real, and then the third one is you.
Okay, Benny boy?
I think we're going to have to go for a full house, I think. I think the one with the elephant sounds too crazy to really be a real thing. I think squirrels will hide under an engine for warmth in the winter because they do. I mean, rats do that, and squirrels aren't too far from rats. Just got different bushy tails. So I'm going to say that is real, and then the third one is you.
Well, gentlemen, that is a trifecta for all three. 3 for 3 on all of you on that one there. So, Stuart, you got 1 point on that one there. Nope. Yeah, you got 1 point. You got the last one right there. But yes, the 1996 story of an elephant is absolutely horseshit. And, of course, Going Nuts is the true story. And we have Dog with the Bone, which was made up by myself. So, Jacob, I release you. Give us your information, please, quickly before you jump out on us. And Mrs. Jacob, if you're listening, sorry, it's my fault. Please do not give him any blame at all. I owe you 12 minutes of his time. I will give it to you when
I hope she heard that.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. No. I will watch the child. Okay. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I watch the kid. Go ahead, buddy. Let us know we can find it.
Yeah, you'll find me and Michael over in United Spurs of America. That's our YouTube. Can you hear me? My shit's freezing, so I'm really sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, they're over at the United Spurs of America. The link is
I apologize. United Spurs of America is where you can find me. Yes, thank you. And then you can find us on Twitter as well. We're over there, YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. So should have a pop-up show soon. I was thinking tonight I might take the night off since I've been enjoying myself today. But big ups BobbyK, having big ups Leo, Mahi, Hotspur, big Kauffman and Kauffman.
You break it up like crazy over here on us, Jacob. So for any of those that missed that, Jacob is just saying thank you and good evening to everybody. He is at the United Spurs of America. Please go over and give them a sub and a like. Great channel. Him and Michael do great stuff over there. Very, very positive guys. Always on the up and up and everything, and always like to have a good laugh over there as well. So please get on over. Again, the link is in the description. All you guys do is click on it, hit the sub button. It's free. My favorite word. Come on. Jacob, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you want to pop yourself out and go take care of your responsibilities, completely understood, sir. So you feel free to dash out whenever you need to. Leo, my man, what is the score? Yeah. What is Mile High up to this week?
So Parker just released Parker's pitch this last week. We could probably do one. He's probably gonna be doing one for this game against Brighton. And then we'll probably just have a podcast this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. So I highly invite anybody and everybody to head over to Mile High Hotspur across all platforms. That's on Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube. We're definitely up and coming channel, and it's definitely good to be able to be on your channel, Bobby. Coffee, I think this is the first time interacting with you, brother. So it's definitely nice. And you guys just no, it's all good. It's all good, brother. But I definitely had fun, bro. I've been kind of planting the seed with you, Bobby, to see when you could get me on your channel.
Yeah, man.
You're a regular on my channel, so I definitely appreciate everything. I appreciate all the advice. I love your channel. I definitely like your videos, and everybody else should.
That intro was actually another creation. This is the great thing about this community, and I said this to you from the beginning, Leo, when you got started. The amount of people here that will hold your hand and be willing to help you, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's such a great community. As long as you can just kind of stay away from getting engaged into the negative end of it and getting sucked into to unnecessary arguments or something like that. We all get upset. The team's going to upset us, of course. We're Tottenham fans. Life is going to upset us, but there's absolutely no reason for us to make it personal ever. We have our opinions. Stick to your opinions, be it waffle, be it delusion, be it sanity, be it realism, whatever it is, it's yours to have, and it's your thought. You know what I mean? So, and speaking of captains of positivity, here he is, my man from the West. Scott, Big up, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. And he's here. He is already calling my son deluded, and my son was kind enough to just say, Scott, you brought pain to my 16-year-old's heart. So don't worry about it, Scott. He'll get over it. And Stuart's bigging you up, Benny. You went 9 for 9, but then the 3 Spurs boys, I think, kind of ratted you out there. I think they know you had a little bit. I think you had a little bit of inside information somewhere.
My brain, I better talk to Kuva. It's so pathetic. I can't even remember what happened for dinner tonight, guys.
No, it's all good, buddy. So, folks, that is our show for this week. Ben, why don't you shout out all your socials for everybody as well? You'll be back tomorrow morning.
Yes, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon at the Coffee Company. We will be joined tomorrow by Mr. Bob, Mr. Reznald, and Miss Kimber for some genuine chat. And we're just going to have an absolute... what they usually do is it all goes mental when we start talking about how Kit Kats are a chocolate bar and not a biscuit. Bob, join us over there at the Coffee Company, where we're just trying to make the world the better place. The world is so miserable. Everyone's so negative in this community. Everyone's out for blood all the time. So we have built a space where we all need to be nice people to each other. That's one thing I'm trying to bring to this community: a bit of positivity, a bit of community spirit. And also, you can find us on Tottenham on Tour now, as we're now a member of the 4 Tottenham on Tour boys with Danny Kiriakou and the 2 Bryans. And we're going to make some great content. We've got some great ideas. Once Brian is off of his tiny bit of a hiatus and the other Brian is off this massive work schedule he's going through, we're going to start Tottenham on Tour in it, all the place. Big up, Haz.
Big up, Haz. Good to see you.
Thanks for the lift, Haz. Big up.
There you go. Well, hopefully you had a good curry evening, buddy. I'm glad you're able to make it and help me wrap up the show. So thank you for that. Thanks for making the intro. Thanks for making the background and everything like that. Even the original intro, that's the new one that's been made for Kuva and the Kang, is courtesy of Ben. And it's just I said, Leo, man, we're very fortunate to have these wonderful people in our community. So on that note, that is our show for this week. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. The kids will be back this Wednesday evening with an off the pitch show. They will be there'll be a little bit of a change to that show, and the kids are going to be taking it over completely. So hopefully you could join the boys and give them a little bit of support and love this Wednesday evening. That'll be 8:30 p.m. UK time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time here over for us. And they will be bringing on Mr. Sean Butler from Spurs Talk Show. So that should be an interesting chat with the boys and Sean. And then, of course, we'll be back next Sunday with Kuva and the Kang, and always special guests, because we're blessed enough to be surrounded by special people. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you have a great week. God bless you and your families, and we'll see you next time. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
We sang in France, we sang in Spain, we sing in the sun and we sing in the rain. They tried to stop us, but they didn't. The thing we love most is being a kid, being a kid, being a kid. The thing we love most is being a kid.
Come on, you Spurs.
Make sure to like and subscribe.